Back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
What is up? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Halloween. It's our Halloween stream. I am dressed like a werewolf. Yes, that's true. So you'll see that posted on most of my social media. This is Paranormal Podcast, Ghost Girl Diaries. Welcome to the channel. I'm bringing in my co-host now, Kat Cormier. Kat is Wednesday Addams for the evening.
I am.
Yay, you look so cute.
Thank you. I love this dress so much.
I know, it's adorbs. It totally fits your personality. So tonight I did warm makeup. I'm not like my vampire self, so I feel kind of weird. I feel out of the box.
Looks so good.
I feel hot-blooded. You know what I mean? Very hot-blooded right now. Hey guys, I see you coming in on this multi-stream right now. We're streaming live right now on Facebook, the old YouTube channel, and Twitch as always. And yeah, so tonight's gonna be kind of fun because it's Kat and I, as always. When we're talking, we're just all over the place. Elfie likes to be regimented. Kat and I like to be, I don't know, the tea. You know what I'm saying? I have water and Sprite is my tea for the night. You know what I'm saying? So grab your
some
tea.
apple cider.
Do you? Is it good?
In a skull mug.
Yes, I wasn't that ahead of myself tonight. I was running late, obviously, if you couldn't tell. Poor Kat. That's what my filming. I should have done it way earlier. I didn't know my werewolf look was going to take so long. So we have all kinds of weird things to talk about tonight. I don't even know where to start. The very beginning. Everyone, please grab your Halloween tea for the night. Happy Halloween. Everybody's coming in slowly.
Woo.
Kat is Wednesday Addams. If you can't see this stream, you need to go find it on one of our channels on social media. Go to ghostgirldiaries.com because Kat's Wednesday and I am a werewolf, and we're just a mixed bag tonight. You know what I'm saying?
It's a mixed bag.
Just a mixed
it's
bag.
us on the daily.
Pretty much. You never know who's going to show up. You know what I mean? Never know what personality's coming in.
True.
Yeah, it's true. So how are you, though, by the way? You've been having all your like little fun stuff with theater going on. How's theater going?
Yeah, it's been incredibly busy. And we have opening night tomorrow night.
Yay.
For Jekyll and Hyde the musical. So all that hard work is paying off, and I'm really excited to show this to audiences.
Elfie's in. Happy Halloween, Elfie. Yeah, if you're in the Concord, New Hampshire area, Kat, I think, posted where her performance is going to be. She's been sending me behind the scenes snaps. She has one of the like main character positions, and she looks fabulous. Let me just say, I cannot wait to move to the East Coast. We talk about it daily practically now, don't we?
Yeah, it's true. It's going to happen.
Oh my God.
It's going to happen. You'll be here soon.
I can't wait. I'm counting down. Elfie's the same. She's so cute. She's like, tell me, okay, is there any new cities you're looking at in PA or New York? I've definitely narrowed it down to PA or New York, 100%. I have a handful of cities that I'm for sure set on, but now I need to go and actually visit the cities to see the vibe and the energy. And Elfie's like, I'm researching. I'm going to tell you where the haunted spots are. I love her. She's so funny. Elfie's on tonight. Shout out to Elfie. All right, so we're gonna so this is some paranormal tea. This is a mixed bag. We're gonna talk about, you know, what I was known for years is obviously going through paranormal reviews of paranormal TV shows. I haven't done that in a while. I'm really we're gonna both be reviewing one tonight that we haven't really watched till today. We only watched one episode. I could only get through one episode. It was that good. That's sarcasm. And there's some other just paranormal tea. So let's talk about, this is kind of picking up where Kat's last conversation was with me about the difference between sort of being like an influencer versus being, you know, a filmmaker, a celebrity.
Paranormal investigator.
Yeah, there's like distinct differences between each one.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on just overall? What's an overall wrap up of what we said before?
We were just essentially saying that there's a difference between, you know, being a paranormal investigator as a hobby on social media and being a filmmaker and wanting to have that be your career,
Mhm.
you know, wanting to make something from that or be an example.
Mhm.
And it's getting a little convoluted. I feel like there are a lot of pretty much what we were saying in the last stream was that we feel that there's a huge slew of paranormal influencers out there that might be the next generation of investigators on Travel Channel or anywhere else. And, you know, part of that discussion was that's great, but also be mindful of that. Because if you go into something head first, not knowing your background in film or not knowing a background in cinematography or film, you know, you kind of might get the crap end of the stick when it comes to those big dreams and goals of yours. So to do your research, make sure that, you know, you're careful with what you're posting, what you're doing, how you're promoting yourself, and all of that.
And understanding film, having a background in film. You don't have to go to film school, although I did. I did end up dropping my major in film because I got to a point in film school where I had already so much hands-on experience from working in the studios. Like, I think that's more important. You don't have to have a film background to get hired on in a studio. You know, like, start as a PA. Like, start from the bottom and work your way up. You can learn so much. I mean, I got in, I got lucky. I really did. I got lucky. I didn't have to start at the bottom and work up, but you know, getting in there, I really learned a lot. And I got to a point in film school where I was like, I know this. I'm good. I don't have to be here anymore. But you can do it online. You can learn anything on the internet at this point with YouTube. And the problem I'm seeing over and over again is they think, okay, I'm a paranormal investigator or a celebrity. I can go in and get hired through Travel Channel or a production company and I can just like hire these people. Yes, you can, but you're like really putting all of your eggs in one basket by entrusting your future in these people if you don't know anything about the film yourself. And that's a problem because you're willing to kind of throw everything away. A lot of times we see these people, I think Dave Schrader is a perfect example. He gets thrown around constantly from series to series to series. None of the series go past like maybe 2 seasons because it has such bad ratings that they send him on another show. And like you've seen it with several other people. Nick Groff even had that going for a while. You know what I mean? And so you don't want that. Like, you don't want to be a one and done or a one season and done. Like, you want to be like Zach, where he has 30 seasons under his belt and it just keeps going. Yeah, and there's a reason though. And going back to now the beginning of our chat is people like making fun of him online. There was something, I have to pull up my phone because I'm not going to say this person's name, but someone popped up on my FYP the other day of TikTok. And I sent Kat the screenshot, so I'm going to go in and try to find that screenshot. Basically, this person has made like a playlist making fun of Zach Bagans. And the playlist is literally titled Zach Bagans Slander. And just saying, oh, Zach's always possessed. It's another demonic, episode of Ghost Adventures. And it's like, okay, that's fair. Like, I think the real problem of this conversation is people are bored. I think people are bored of Ghost Adventures. It has nothing to do with the fact that they don't obtain actual evidence. It's just we're bored. Things are, it comes in waves, like it's been on for a long time and it hasn't really gotten fresh, like a refresh in a while. You're right. It's always about the dark stuff. And I think people just need something new. Also, the same old people continue to keep getting recycled and recycled through the paranormal shows and people are bored. And so I get it, but like you're also like you're demonizing him, and from a filmmaker standpoint, he's the only successful one out there. Don't you agree?
I agree with that, and I think at that point, with all of this back talk that's happening with Zach, it's just jealousy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But you can also have that too if you work for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and learn about film, understanding film, and I don't think that people aren't realizing what other show that we've seen paranormal wise has gone 30 seasons. None. And the reason is like I can tell you this from personally knowing Zach, he doesn't consider himself a paranormal investigator. He considers himself a filmmaker. And that's proof because now he's branching into all these other things. He's working with Eli Roth. He's doing other stuff outside of documentary. And it's because he has now perfected himself as a filmmaker and documentarian that he no longer has to stay in that genre of documentary work. I mean, even the Demon House, yes, part of it was documentary style, But he really was dipping his toe into working on the other side of like actual film. And he did an amazing job. And people are making fun of him. And I'm like, but no one else can pull it off.
You do it then.
You do it then. You
Show
want
us.
to make a Zach Bagans slander, you know, on TikTok, like with videos and videos of him just being made fun of? Then go do it better, boo. Let me see what you got.
And it's free press. It's like we say, you know, the more you talk about someone, the more free press it is. So clearly they're doing their job right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, come on. Let's just all be supportive here.
It's also respecting a film and especially when Cat's now been involved with Ghost Girl Diaries. You know what it is when we've been trying to get signed for so long. We've been thrown around a lot, and it's all because I won't sell out. Really, that's what it comes down to. And
it's true.
When you learn about the film side of stuff, you respect it, don't you?
I do, yeah. And you know, here's the other thing too, and this is what we touched on the last time that I was on was, you know, if you're looking to get signed and production companies see that you're posting that stuff about someone that they've signed already, that's not a good look on you. You know, it's okay for you to disagree with somebody, but you can also be professional about it. You know, it doesn't have to be this huge thing for views or clout or whatever. You know, and I just roll my eyes when I see it. I just roll my eyes.
Well, it's true. You're talking the worst, and you've basically created your entire career surrounding slandering somebody. Do you really think that anybody's going to pick you up for a series or want you to be a part of their network when all you do is slander and slander and slander? I mean, you've kind of, and at what point aren't you going to run out of slander at some point?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've been annoyed with myself with Ghost Girl Diaries because a lot of my fan base came from me doing reviews on paranormal shows because of Zach. And that was annoying enough. But I can't imagine just specific slander on one person creating an entire career out of that. Where do you think you're going to go? You would have done so much better if you would have spent that time getting that $100,000 or 100,000 following, being yourself and investigating, versus just doing slander for the views. What are you gonna? How are you gonna make a career out of that?
You're not. You're just gonna be constantly stuck in a, you know, self-deprecating circle.
Yeah, you're forever gonna be known as the girl making fun of Zach Bagans. I don't want that image.
No, and you know, then you can't complain about why am I not where I'm at?
Yeah, why am I not getting signed? Why am I not doing something more than just this? Yeah.
It's more than just paranormal investigating. It's a lot more than that, you know, and that's the difference between being an influencer and genuinely trying to get into this industry.
Happy Halloween, guys. More people are coming in saying Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
It's true, and it's respecting the filmmaker side stuff too, and it's just, you know, if you understood what I knew and if you've seen what I've seen, like with Cat, like, you know, the last negotiation we were in 2021 was horrendous. It was horrible. Kat and I mean, I was crying every other day on the phone with Kat. I've never been in a worse position with negotiations. And it was because they had us locked down to this contract and I couldn't get out of it. And it was all because I wouldn't sell out. They basically were trying to pressure me into selling out and just agreeing. And they were just going to keep me held in that contract until I agreed. And my point is that, like, Zach, you may be bored with Ghost Adventures. You may be tired of, like, you know, the demonic stuff and the possession or the bro stuff. But, like, he is in control of his own series and nobody else gets to do that. He's the only one. So there's got to be some sort of respect there for as much work as he's put out. 30 seasons, man. I don't personally ever want to go that far. But, like, good for him. So, moving forward, let's talk. So we decided, okay, we're going to talk about something we haven't talked about yet, which is one of the reasons that we were in negotiations last year. I'm not going to tell you specific networks, and I'm not going to tell you the production company because we're not allowed to due to NDA. But I am going to say that we did put in a negotiation with Travel Channel. And we were shot down immediately, and not because of Ghost Girl Diaries. So we were not pitched as Ghost Girl Diaries. We were shot down because we were told that Kesha had just been signed. So we knew that there was a female group coming out, basically, or Kesha, and Travel Channel wouldn't even look at us or consider Ghost Girl Diaries because they had just signed Kesha. So we knew it was coming out before it was coming out. and we were really upset because we thought we had a shoe-in with At Least Travel, and they wouldn't even look at our stuff. So we were turned down not because of Ghost Girl Diaries, but because they knew it was a female-based show, and they thought Kesha was sort of going to take that over. So it's kind of like when we lost Sundance to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And then we lost, Travel to Kesha, and both, I don't know, a little bitter, I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? Because it's crazy, because like when Zach got signed to Travel in Ghost Adventures in 2008, he had no competition. Here I am, an actual legit filmmaker who's won awards, who has worked my entire 10 years to get where I'm at, and my competition suddenly now becomes these high profile female celebrities. How is that fair?
Well, and how can you compete with that?
You can't.
I mean, maybe it makes me sound bitter, but the first thing that I thought of when all this stuff happened, with Taylor, now with Kesha, was, don't they have enough?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't they think outside of the box and think they might be taking this opportunity away from somebody else that has been working for it?
Yes, I'm not even in competition of genre of paranormal investigators. I'm in competition genre of high-profile female celebrities that have been in the game for 20 years who just decided, I mean, Taylor didn't go paranormal, but she did do a documentary. But Kesha comes out of nowhere, and now that's my competition. It's not fair that, that's who I have to compete against. Is like, holy crap. And by the way, I have nothing against Taylor Swift and nothing against Kesha. I'm fans of both of their music, so this is not what I'm talking about. But so the Kesha thing happened, and we were kind of heartbroken, because we were like, oh, okay, well, now it's Taylor, now it's Kesha. And we got shot down for completely opposite reasons. So Kat and I knew this show was coming out. It ended up dropping, I think it was July 7th or something is when it came out, or something like that.
Yeah, sometime in July.
We both we felt the same way we felt about Taylor Swift's documentary on Netflix, which is why we were burdened out of that as well. We didn't watch it. We didn't watch the Taylor Swift documentary. It was a personal vendetta against us, not from Taylor herself, not from Kesha herself, just from the network involved. And so when Kesha's series dropped, we were like, even Elfie, we're not watching it. I just don't want to see it. I don't. If that's who I'm competing against, I don't want to know. But we kind of had a change of heart, because we noticed that she hasn't been renewed, which sort of would give us the shoe-in if we went back into negotiations to try again with Travel Channel, but now we have to find a production company again. So we decided to watch Kesha's today. So if you haven't seen it, it is called Conjuring Kesha, and I basically wanted to see what was our competition. Even though Travel Channel didn't even consider Ghost Girl Diaries for what it is, what is our competition? What are we against? She didn't get re-signed. Why didn't she get re-signed? She is a celebrity. Was it good? And I'm actually going to refer to our text messages first, because I started notes in our text messages while I was watching it.
No, I just opened it up. I literally just opened it up.
Yeah, there was a lot. So the first thing that I saw was she has an intro. It's you can look it up on YouTube if you don't have Discovery Plus. The intro is a lot of After Effects. I am an editor. I'm a video editor, so it's a lot of After Effects. There's not a lot of documentarian footage. There's one shot of her really that's just running down a hallway, and that's about it. Everything else is spooky After Effects stuff. So it's stuff that you can get kind of create online through, non-profit or free source video footage. Basically, you can access it online as an editor. So I was kind of disappointed with that, because I feel like when you're doing a series, especially if you're coming out as this female front, which is what she is now. She came out as a female front in paranormal, so you have a lot to live up to, because it doesn't really exist. She has a very successful paranormal podcast. I have watched one episode, the one with Tyler Henry, which is the psychic. And it's not bad. The podcast isn't bad, but I was, transferring a podcast to an actual paranormal investigation, what's it going to be? What's it going to be like? And so the first thing I noticed with the voiceover was it just felt a little monotone. It felt like it wasn't captivating, and I'm talking about the voiceover of the intro, and it was so quiet. I was I couldn't even understand what she was saying. The music was loud. Who wrote the voiceover? It was not good. It was not good.
No. There wasn't a lot of thought put into this, is kind of what it felt like. I think that she just had the money and pitched it, and they did it, and I feel like it happened really quick, and there you go. It felt like a very canned intro as well. It felt very rushed.
It was very
know?
like, it was very cheesy, like, I'm a beacon in the light. I'm a light in the darkness kind of thing. And like, there's ghosts that exist in the dark side, and you're just like, oh yeah, we know that, but what about you? And you know what I mean? Like, it was just a little crusty, I think, you know, like it just didn't have any pizzazz, was sort of my feeling.
Yeah.
Not inventive is a really good way to put it. And
Mm.
I was really anxious to see like what the opening shot was going to be with the first episode, and immediately it's her with a camera, like Destination Fear, extremely like YouTube quality was the first thing that came to mind.
Mm.
Did you watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, I felt the same way.
I wasn't this is Kesha. She has a successful podcast. Like, of course, I was supporting her throughout like the Dr. Luke stuff. You know what I mean? Like, where's the pizzazz in this? You know what I mean? Why are you doing vlog style? And then she says she's bringing on Whitney Cummings, to be her. Just this episode, she's like a different celebrity in every episode. So in the first episode, it was Whitney Cummings. It was coming in as her sort of like sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm watching it, and the first thing I really thought was like, money doesn't mean shit.
Mm-mm.
You can be a celebrity, you can be a big name. Like, she literally got signed because she's Kesha, and it does not mean you're a filmmaker. There's a very distinct difference, and it also does not mean that you're a paranormal investigator.
That was very clear. That was very clear.
Mm-hmm.
As we go on, I was getting really frustrated watching.
I was too.
Because it seemed like the producer knew more about paranormal investigating than...
Well, you know, of course, I'm going to take it a little personal, not in a sense that I'm not a fan of hers. It's not like that. But it's like, this is who I lost to. This is who wouldn't sign me because of her. And you know, she has a good name for herself. So great. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it should be good. And then it was like, damn, man. Like, what is it going to take? Like, even Jack Osborne, like, obviously he's got a lot of money. He's Ozzy Osbourne's son. He's had how many different series? They've all crashed and burned. Of course, I love Katrina. It's not her fault. But none of them, I mean, Katrina runs that show pretty much, even though she's the second man standing. And I just, it's like, when's this going to change? We're just seeing the same repetitive failures over and over again. And like,
recycled.
they're not giving the people a chance that like deserve to be there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, either you're a filmmaker or you're not is really what it comes down to. And even that's on the Jack Osborne side. Like, they're not filmmakers. He has money to pay people to be there. But even him, remember one episode we watched, he held the millimeter up to the light switch and it was going off. And he's like, oh my God. And we're like, yeah, because you have it, you're touching the light switch. That's why.
Yep.
So Whitney Cummings was acting really overly dramatic. She was like screaming and like running back and forth. She said something grabbed her hand, and then she was like, I'm leaving. And it was like a lot of chaos. And I was like, what's going on? I'm having a hard time focusing here. It felt a little cheesy to me, like it was like set up. Kesha walked in and she said, so they're investigating a prison. The first episode, she's like, the first thing she says, I feel dead, like death. And I was like, you're in a prison, not a funeral home. Why do you feel dead? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of the way she was feeling was going off what she says is her like psychic abilities. It's not even like, so then that confused me. Did that confuse you too?
Yeah, I didn't really understand. I feel like it just wasn't thought out. Like, nothing about this was thought. I feel like she was just told to say something and she just, like, said it and it didn't make sense.
Like, okay, let's talk about pre-production, production, post-production. How much goes into that when we're filming?
So much. So I feel like it's almost the longest part of the process. I feel like it's longer than post.
Oh, yeah. Post is like you already have it ready to go. You know what you're doing. This is the beginning, the middle, the end. You have to come up with a storyline. There's a feature. There's characters, whether that's dead or alive with us. Protagonists, usually antagonists are the ghosts that are coming after us. You know what I mean? Like, it has to have a seamless storyline.
It does. And, like, you know, a part of documentary work and reality documentary work is things can go awry. So if you have plans to have, 4 or 5 interviews, but they're not comfortable interviewing because of their experiences, you have to have a backup plan for if that happens. Yeah. What voiceovers are we going to use? What history should we fill in for it, Mm-hmm. And this just felt like, I almost feel like a lot of the newer shows are going off of Sam and Colby on YouTube channel. Like, they're very much taking that because it's successful in their end, which is fine. But that's not...
You just said the key word, which is YouTube.
Yeah.
That is YouTube quality. It is not television quality, filmmaker quality, and that is the problem. That's
Mhm.
exactly the problem. Now, I think that Dakota has made it work with Destination Fear
Oh,
because he
absolutely.
came out just in time where his works. And he's tweaked it a little bit, so his works. But
Yeah.
you're
He
right.
had a nice blend. I feel like Dakota had a nice blend of cinematography and, like, as he was moving on
But
towards
he
other
worked
seasons,
under
you
Zach
know?
and learned
Yeah.
cinematography, and there's a reason for it, why it looks better than others. And there's a reason
Mhm.
he's on. He just got re-signed to what, 4 seasons now?
Season 4 airs November 25th.
So ask yourself why. Ask yourself why.
Mhm.
Why is Dakota and Destination Fear getting re-signed and no one else is?
Mhm.
Because
The
they've worked
baggins.
with Zach
And
and
they
they understand film.
Mhm.
It's a process. It is an art form. It is a art film
is.
is a art form. And
Mhm.
it's more than just like with me watching Kesha, it was like turn on and go. All right, it's on and go. And you're just like that's not the way it's supposed to go. Like when we're on set with Kat, I have set lists, I have shot lists. We have an extremely strict schedule that we have to, inventory. You have to see who's going to be where. There's a PA that's running food or drinks or whatever that we need errands. Sometimes weird things happen and someone's got to run cables, and I had to have security in February basically pull me like a cinematography crane because I was trying to get a specific shot. They had,
Yep. It's true.
but like
Yep.
we had it, you have to plan it out. It's lists, it's organization, and to me this was like chaos.
You know, I feel like watching Kesha's first episode, I only watched the first episode. I am curious to watch the other ones because I saw Chip Coffee in the trailer.
Yes.
So
That
I'm
was
very curious
interesting.
about that.
That was interesting.
Yeah. This is a great example of what Krystal and I were talking about 2 weeks ago, which is the difference between it being a hobby and you genuinely like wanting to serve a purpose. And the first episode to me, from just watching the first, was it looks like a hobby for her because a lot of even the equipment she didn't really know how to use.
It
Or
also
there was
made me
something
feel really
happening.
proud of us because we've won several awards. Kat's won awards as being a producer now. My entire crew has won awards. I've won Best Documentarian. I've won awards for director to look out for because that's the quality of what we put out. Didn't it make you feel proud? Because to me, our one little episode that we did that we won all those awards for was better than a lot of shows that we've seen.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. I mean, even the experience on set was great.
Yeah.
And it's discouraging. It's discouraging to watch who you were essentially beat out by on the network.
Yeah, and seeing Chip Coffee
Rough.
on the trailer, I'm interested in seeing that too.
Yeah.
Then I was like, how's this going to unfold? It just didn't feel organized to me. It didn't feel like there was a plan set in motion. They like walk into the first Whitney Cummings is like screaming, running back and forth. Then they're like, okay, well, we'll go in. And then like the cameras are following him in. And then all this are like, hey, are you da-da-da? And I'm like, this is not like a setup interview. It's not formalized. They're standing in an area where there's, the prison blocks, and Kesha's holding a camera. No camera mounts again. I'm just so confused. No one knows what nobody knows what a damn camera mount is. For God's sake, that is standard in the industry. And she's holding her arm and she looks so bored. She's like watching, like they're interviewing this woman and she just looks like she's zoned out and just doesn't want to be there. And I'm like, wow, I have worked my ass off for 10 years and I just can't catch a effing break. And all these people just keep getting in so easily and they don't even realize what they have that other people are dying to have. I've literally dedicated my entire life to wanting this. I've chased this dragon for years and everyone's they're literally getting handed to them and they don't even care. And it's blowing my effing mind. That it's like you have something someone's been working towards for 10 years and you look bored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when you have everything, you lose gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't something that she genuinely wanted to do. It was a hobby. It was a hobby.
Well, then, Whitney starts interviewing the person. Whitney was doing a better job interviewing than Kesha.
She really was. Even in her investigative work, she was actually pretty natural.
I was
which was
confused. I was like, wait, is this Kesha's show or Whitney's show? Because Kesha just looked a little checked out, honestly. You know what I mean?
She was terrified. She was terrified.
Okay, now I'm gonna go to the other notes because that was all my notes in my phone. I was like, okay, I'm texting Kat too much at this point. Now I need to actually put this in a document. You know what I mean? So now it starts getting chaos again. Whitney's walking through saying over and over, I know that I'm just fully possessed right now.
Yeah.
I was like, you're not possessed, boo. You are able to communicate your feelings. You are not possessed. She kept saying, she's like, something's in my head. I can just feel I'm possessed. And I'm like, and y'all are making fun of Zach? And y'all are making lists and calling them Zach slander, and you're not seeing what I'm seeing here?
It's, oh my gosh. Okay, so when I was watching this, first off, the priest, we're just not even gonna go there. Because, you know, I was like, oh, here we go again.
Honestly, that just felt very, yeah, I don't even know if that was legit or not, so I just didn't even question. Okay.
It wasn't. I can promise you that, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, this guy, I don't even know. So anyway, I feel like there's a big difference between oppression and possession.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people intermingle the two, and it's wrong. Oppression, you know, happens over a period of time. Possessions, I feel like, take a lot longer, depending on the person and depending on the location. Mm-hmm. And she was fine, but she was telling herself that she was possessed because the priest dude, whoever he was saying that was a possibility.
Yeah.
He was kind of adding to that, you know? So just don't go there.
I know. I was like, please stop saying you're possessed. I'm possessed. I'm like, okay. Oh, okay. That's what I kept saying. Oh, okay.
She thought she was possessed because she didn't remember the investigation that she just did. Like the conversation she had just had, she didn't remember.
Yeah, but there's also something called discombobulated, and I was made fun of online for using this term. People said it wasn't a real term. It's a real effing term. Google
it's a real word. Yep. And term, yeah.
And you've experienced it on set too. If you're in a haunted location, there's a lot of different energies. Discombobulated means you get confused, turned around. You're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Da da da. And yeah, it can happen. It's just you're just around high electromagnetic fields can cause it. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be an energy of like an actual ghost or entity. But I didn't hear them explain any of that. So the first thing I know,
they don't know.
I know.
They don't know.
The first thing I noticed, there was really no ghost gear at all, and there was no night vision. I was like, what? This is a paranormal show, and you're missing, in my opinion, the two key factors: paranormal equipment and night vision. How does one shoot a paranormal series without night vision and without ghost gear? Can you explain that to me?
No. I also feel like there's a standard procedure when it comes to filming in paranormal. And when they were taking out the equipment, or when Kesha was like, okay, we're going to be doing a ghost box session, I feel like that would have been a great time to talk about what equipment you have, who made it, what it's used for, you know, the typical jargon. So if someone new was watching the show, they're like, oh, okay, now I know what that is. You know, that's why it's said. That's why it's mentioned. And it was just she was very hesitant to do anything, to investigate, to go somewhere alone. The producer on set, she was really pushing Kesha to do something, you know, do some things. And there was at one point activity going on, and the producer was like,
they walked out.
Like, now
they walked out.
Now they
walked
left. Out, and
they left.
She was like, but the producer was like, okay, now is a good time to use the SLS. And I'm like, put this producer in front of the camera, please, because I want to watch her. Like, she knows what's happening. You know, I'm actually very curious who she is, because she knew paranormal.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know who she is, because that was awesome. It was really cool.
She did. Nobody else did. It's fine. Yeah. All of a sudden, there's a REM pod on the screen. Nobody said what it did. Nobody said what it's doing. All of a sudden, they're like, wait, let's go back again. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. This was one episode. That's why I was like, no, we're not doing any more. One is enough. I'm tired. Didn't really know the ghost gear, didn't really explain what it was, Kesha just kept saying, I'm seeing things in my mind. And I'm like, okay, then is this psychic Kesha instead of conjuring Kesha? I'm confused what we're talking about here. You should have introduced yourself as like a clairvoyant or a psychic or a medium then. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now, because that I don't know. That's a fine line. You have to be careful crossing that line in paranormal because people can get annoyed with it really easy, unless you have
Mm-hmm.
somebody like Chip Coffey on set who has been doing it for a long time and can confirm what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I want to watch that episode.
yeah, I do. Then they kept saying lots of demons. There's just lots of demons everywhere, and I'm like, how did you determine that? Because you're seeing it in your mind? Is that what's going on? What does a demon look like in your mind? Can you tell
I
me?
feel like you would know. I feel like you would know if that was a thing.
Oh, God.
You know, and two, it's not as common as it's not super common to run into that. You know, and the guy was an enabler. I don't even remember his name.
The guy
I
was
don't
an
even
enabler.
remember his name. He was an enabler. He was making them fearful. He was making them fearful, and he didn't know what the hell he was talking about at all.
Well, then,
At all.
then there was something about Kesha saying in her mind, or like she sees someone that's transgender that's passed over in there, and then and I'm like, what? And I'm waiting for like a fact check to happen. Like I'm waiting for someone to come in and be like, yes, in this cell in 1934 there was a transgender prisoner or something. No, we never got a fact check. And all of a sudden, Kesha's on the screen. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to feel bad if they're not transgender. Maybe I got it wrong in my mind. And I'm like, what the F is going on here?
Yeah, and then it was followed up by Whitney.
Yes.
By saying he'd had experience. And, you know, even if there was no fact check, I actually did feel like Whitney's investigation and what she was doing was actually like nice.
Well, she was trying to get information. She was trying to get information.
She was doing a great job. And then, like, as soon as it got to a certain point, that guy, that demonologist, was like, it's a demon trying to trick you.
How many times have I told you guys not to trust anyone who claims to be a demonologist? How many times can I tell you that? I don't trust people that say they're demonologists. I don't. If you're a priest, then you're a demonologist. You know what I mean? Like if you're very much of the light, but if you're sitting here talking like no, and I don't know who he was. We should look.
And I want to honestly because it just really peeves me. It peeves me because if you're new watching this, I have a family friend, priest family friend, because I grew up Catholic, now witch, color, religious trauma, and he's an exorcist. Mm-hmm. He went through seminary and, you know, did his thing and went through the trial and error and went to the Vatican, like got, you know, so we have somebody personally,
legitimate.
I know personally.
Legit, yeah.
You know, that could
took an oath of silence for how many years?
Oh, 13 years. 13 years. The only time he spoke was in prayer. And he even gave me, like, you know, when I started Ghost Girl Diaries, he was never refuting it because there are things on the other side. It happens, you know, what you don't know what you're going to bump into. He gave me a blessed St. Michael coin and a blessed scapula to wear underneath clothing if I'm ever feeling, you know, a certain type of way. And he's very legit. He's very legit. So that's why I just get very upset with people that just think they can get a certificate online and all of a sudden they're a demonologist. It's just not. That's not safe. That's not someone you should have with you if you genuinely think that's a concern.
Well, and instilling fear in others, we know what happens on set, especially haunted locations. Any sort of energy you're putting off, especially in a negative, whether it's anger, fear, they use those electromagnetic fields to manifest, and then there could be something bad that comes out. So yeah, that was strange. I was just ignoring him most of the time because that's how much I discredited the things he was saying.
Oh, annoying.
So then Kesha's like, I'm not going to go anywhere alone. I'm not going anywhere alone. And I'm like, well, all right, how are we going to get evidence or like enough footage to create an actual episode out of this? You know, like you have to realize like when you're filming for a network, it's way more than just ghost hunting. It's not ghost hunting on the weekends with your friends at a graveyard, which is what she was treating it like. You have to come home with legitimate evidence, hours and hours of footage, good footage, to be able to create a storyline out of where you just went, because the network is paying for you to be there. And if you don't pay up well, you're not going to get signed for a second season. Why would you want to do it one and done? Why would you want to do it one and done?
Do it right the first time. She was right the first time.
So once again, we're back to like she's saying she's seeing things in her head. Whitney's still saying she thinks she's possessed. I'm just very confused by the whole thing. Kesha says, I'm trying to tell, I can't tell in my mind that if the ghost is nice or if it's a trap. Do you want me to repeat that? I can't tell in my mind if the ghost is nice or if it's a trap. I'm like, well, then get the spirit box out and figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, and then verbatim she goes, oh my God, did I just misgender a ghost?
Oh yeah, because I think Whitney had said something, and then it was
I
awkward.
wish you could see my face right now. And that was put on national television. Jesus, take the wheel. And then Whitney was like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. I hope I don't get canceled for this. And it's painful. It's painful to watch. So then it's night vision, or it's not night vision. It's the lights are off and they're using regular cameras with LED screens. What is that?
None of it made sense.
It's not even night vision. Why you could at least you can't there's the cheapest night vision cams run about, I think my Bell and Howell were like $250-ish. And there might even be cheaper ones if you go through like the Ghost Hunter store or whatever. But come on, you're Kesha. You couldn't even buy a damn handy cam with night vision on it. I mean, we have Sonys, and the Sonys are like $1,000 each. They're the high quality green night vision. But like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point of having a ghost show if you don't even have night vision? I mean, I'm not making that up, right? You saw no night vision, right?
Nope. Yep. No night vision. Which also, why are you afraid then? To be in a room by yourself when there's a light on in the back.
Yeah,
you know
it was low light. It was all filmed in low light.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
So Kesha was literally just taking on a psychic stance, not an investigator stance. That's when the REM pod is seen. There's like a REM pod on the floor. Nobody explains what it is. I know what it was, but it's just like a round circle with an antenna sitting on the floor. And all of a sudden, Kesha's like, is it moving? And I was like, oh God, REM pods don't move. Oh God.
They left the room. And they were like, did that REM pod move?
Oh God.
And it was awkward because I could tell Whitney, I could see in Whitney's eyes, she was like, no. But to keep the story going, she was like, yeah, I don't think I remember it there. But there's no evidence for that. Like, you didn't leave a camera in there to see if something got shifted or whatever.
Yeah, but REM pods are heavy. Like, they
are heavy.
Yeah, that's not, no. I don't think so. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. But it was like she didn't know. To me, it felt like Kesha didn't know what the REM pod did. Like, she didn't know that it was supposed to beep or, like, make noise or flash lights, because that's what REM pods do. They basically detect electromagnetic fields. That's what a REM pod is, okay? But it's like she didn't know what it was, and she was like, is it moving? And I was like, oh God, this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. Like, there's no wheels on a REM pod. They're like these round circular things, pieces of ghost equipment that just sit.
Like thick.
I felt embarrassed for both of them. Like they just got put on camera talking about ghost gear, and they don't even know terminology. They don't even know what this thing does, and I'm just like, I'm really embarrassed for them. I feel bad for them. Like, this is like the paranormal community. I know how vicious they can be when it looks like this. You know what I mean?
Oof. And there's so much more. The ending made me really mad. Like, the ending of the episode made me really mad. We'll get there.
I'm at work, so they don't know how to use ghost equipment. Feel embarrassed. Kesha asked if this was the conversations were so awkward and strange to me. She was like, "Hey, ghost, are you nervous?" And like, apparently the ghost said yes. I don't know if it was like in her mind or what. And then I don't know how to follow this. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't using a digital recorder to get, you know what I mean? Like, voice.
But also like, her entrance into that location, she said, whatever is in here, I'm just letting you know I'm entering. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. You know, I feel like there was a different way to word that than just saying like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, it just, I don't know. It's very strange. Very
So-
strange wording.
Kesha, the ghost is nervous. Oh, I think maybe okay, maybe the EMF meter went off. Maybe that's what I can't remember. Anyway, she's like,
yeah.
it says yes or something. And Whitney's like, we should just let the ghost be. Like, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And they, like, walk out. They're still talking about the transgender ghost, which basically is just speculation because of Kesha's mind and her, like, psychic abilities, which I'm still very confused by. Like, it's fine if you're saying that you're a psychic or a medium, but, like, you need to explain that to the camera so that you don't sound like you're a crazy person. Because right now, all you're saying is, I'm seeing it in my mind. What are you seeing in your mind? I am concerned if you're seeing visions. Are you taking antipsychotics? Like, what are you seeing in your mind? You know, I need an explanation on this because she was not introduced as a psychic. She was not introduced with psychic abilities, so it just didn't make sense. It was kind of like 2 + 2 = 68.
It's true, but this is why a good intro is important.
Yes.
Especially for a new show. And that's why we were saying what we were about that. It's an example.
Then they say, well, we're just going off of our instincts. This is just strictly off of our gut instincts and our mental pictures. That's what they said. And I was like, okay. All right. And then Whitney's like, once again, chaos because they're just running back and forth. They're scared. Clearly, they're scared. And Whitney's like, there's so much activity in here. And I'm like, well, then where is it? Why haven't you shown it on the camera? Where's the activity? What are you talking about? There's activity. There's a lot of scary music that was plugged in post-production. And usually when they do that is because there was no evidence and it was because it probably didn't make sense. You know, you need sort of like a crescendo when you're in a show, right? Like think of Zach Bagans and Ghost Adventures. Like you always get to the scary part and then it sort of drops off. Like this is part of not only like cinematic storytelling, but also just storytelling in general. So I think they were trying to do that using music in post-production, but like it just made it worse.
It did, and the music thing is tricky because if you use too much of it, especially when evidence is going on, it can be mistaken for evidence when it's not. And that's when you lose your credibility.
Yeah.
Like you have to be careful. So I'm curious who edited this.
It doesn't matter because she's Kesha. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't matter. True. But you're right. If I went in there as a filmmaker and did that as a paranormal investigator, my career would be over 100%.
That's why it's such a specific skill set when it comes to even editing paranormal.
Can you imagine if I went in as an investigator and I said, well, I don't have any evidence, but I'm getting mental pictures.
It's really, I don't know, it's really embarrassing.
I would not be where I'm at today, that's for sure. Yeah, it was embarrassing. I'm getting mental pictures. And I'm not saying she's not psychic. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying nothing was explained. I have no clue what's going on here.
I'm curious if it will be explained when Chip's there. I wonder what episode that is.
There's another episode apparently where she did something like a Bigfoot trap. So I kind of want to watch that because that's like
we
what?
Should just binge it.
Ugh, I don't know. It was really painful. It was like picking a scab for an hour.
We can drink.
It's like picking a scab that wouldn't come off. Shit.
I'm seeing mental images.
Why are we laughing? Remember, this is who I lost to. Yes, that's great. It's fine. All of a sudden, an SLS camera footage comes up. Did you see that out of nowhere?
Well, okay, this is when the producer was like...
Who's got the SLS? What is it? What's going on?
Whitney was saying that she felt like a cold spell in the room. And the producer was like... Because Kesha was just standing there. And it was weird because the camera panned to Kesha and she's literally just standing there watching Whitney, not doing anything.
A lot of times she has like her mouth open or just standing there like she's like bored.
And the producer, she was like, this would be a great time, take the SLS out. And I'm kind of shocked they didn't like cut it out.
No, the producer was pissed in a lot of scenes.
She was really mad. Like she knew exactly like you need to be quick. You need to get this equipment out. You need to know what to do with it. And then they were like, oh, okay. And then used it and they caught something, which okay.
And this is why I've been teaching paranormal documentary film on my old YouTube channel for years is because if you're an influencer or a celebrity and you want a paranormal series, go to film school for God's sake. For God's sake, even if it's a 10-month documentary school like Zach got on his certificate, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, I mean, it's so bad. People do not realize you cannot cross over paranormal without knowledge of film and vice versa. Kesha is a celebrity. She can hire whoever she wants. And she went in there with no paranormal experience either. Because she doesn't even know what a damn REM pod is. You know what I mean?
It's true. It looks like episode 6, so the last episode in her first season, called Descent into Madness. They go to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Bless. And Chip Coffey joins them. And it says Chip Coffey joins them in the hopes of setting the spirits free.
I mean, I trust him more, but I don't know the combination of if she's seeing things in her mind, how that's going. What if she's trying to confirm with Chip and it's not right? You know what I mean? I'm getting a
that's why I want to see it. Like, is it going to take to the last episode for us to find out if Kesha's psychic?
It's picking a scab.
Mental pictures.
Kesha asks Whitney, is something touching your leg? Whitney says, I don't know. How do you not know if something's not touching you or not? You know what I mean? Like, I was very... Why did they even keep that in the edit? What's going on?
I feel like at that point, it was just kind of like a dumpster fire, and they just kept going at that point.
Then Whitney asks the ghost, and I quote, are you a creeper? Are you a creeper?
It's weird.
I mean, it's a little rude. But like, first of all, why were these men in prison? We've gotten no background on any of the prisoners. We have no idea what they were there for. Was it major offenses? You know, sure, you can Google it, but that defeats the purpose of the storytelling behind the cinematic, right? Like, that's why you're there.
It does, because they kept saying, like, these poor people. Like, these poor... And I'm like, they're in jail.
No, they're in a prison. It's men. Now you're calling them transgender, which I'm going to be real. I doubt back in that day there were transgenders in a place like that, because we just started finally getting rights for everybody. So what are you talking about? But, you know, I mean, it's so much more than that. And are you a creeper?
It's a lot.
Why are you asking that? I mean, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that would be something appropriate in the Lizzie Borden house. You know, were you doing something you shouldn't have done to Lizzie? Were you a creeper? You're in a prison where there was a bunch of men that never got booty for many years that they were in prison for. Yeah, they're probably all creepers. We don't know if they were in there for RAPE, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I would assume so, because the first thing out of the woman's mouth giving them the tour was that they liked women. Like, you know, things would happen to women in that building.
And then Kesha says, after Whitney says, are you a creeper? Kesha says, this, I shouldn't say that. It's funny. Oh, my camera got blurry. That's creepy. That means there's an energy in here, because that's an expensive webcam. But, hey, ghost, what's going on? I can't see you in my mind.
I can't see the mental picture.
I can't see your mental picture. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't have that ability. That's not nice. Kesha says, is there demonic energy in here? Oh, right, like the ghost is going to be like, yeah, right here, yo, what's going on? I'm a demon. Yeah. What's going on? I'm Beelzebub. What's up?
Oh, I was thinking that name.
Ew.
You just said it. And I was like, don't say it. I was like, to me, I was like, no, don't say that. And then you said it, and I was like, oh, she said it.
Oh, you looked shocked. Like, oh, she said Beelzebub.
I know, because I almost said it, and in my head, I was like, no, don't say that name. I was like, don't say that name.
Nikita, what's going on, boo? We're just talking about this interesting scab that we watched earlier, Conjuring Kesha.
It's not peeled off yet.
It's not going to be for a while. It might be scarred.
It's okay.
Is there demonic energy here? Once again, is Beelzebub gonna come out and be like, yo, what's up, bro? What's going on? I'm right here. Like, it was really corny. It was like cheese balls, you know what I mean? Like, cheesy balls in the worst way possible. But like, okay, all of a sudden, like something beeped or something. Once again, I still don't know if this is the REM pod, really. We don't really know what's going on. And all of a sudden they're like, it beeped. That's a confirmed yes. And they're both like, okay, thanks, bye. And they ran out, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not good.
Which
she left her friend in there.
It's not.
Kesha walked out by herself.
No, it's not. Yeah, she left Whitney. That's not even the point, though. The point of this is that if you're getting activity, you don't leave. If you're shooting a docuseries for Travel Channel, you don't walk out and leave. That defeats the purpose of, like, that's a long trip there. Like, you took planes there. Not only, like, here's the thing. I know you're Kesha, okay? I know you're Kesha. I know that you can sell out stadiums. I know that you're Whitney Cummings and you've had, like, various talk shows. Like, you're people of high value. I get that. But there are people on the crew, like the producers that are there and the camera techs, that you're wasting their time. You had them fly all the way wherever the hell you are in the middle of nowhere, all for you to just turn around and leave? Are you kidding me right now? Are you that? What's the word that I use all the time? One of our past employees thought that they were really, like, above everybody else and entitled. Are you that entitled to think that you're that entitled to think that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, no, I don't care if everybody's wasted their time and they've come all the way out here for me. I'm leaving. Okay, thanks, bye.
It's not just about you. It's not just about you.
Oh, I don't like entitled attitudes more than anything. That's one thing that won't fly.
It takes a team. It takes a team. You know what I mean? Like, have some gratitude for where you're at and do the job. You know? Jeez.
And by the way, just because a REM pod beeps when you ask if there's something demonic here, that does not mean it's a yes. And often energies really enjoy to scare people. Kat and I have done Ouija sessions in haunted locations. I know everyone has their opinions on it. I'm not afraid of Ouija boards. I think it's BS. If you're afraid of Ouija boards, it's BS, okay?
Yep.
But we've used Ouija boards where something comes through claiming to be Zozo. And Kat and I call it out immediately. We're like, no, you're not. If you're that strong of an energy and you're a demonic energy, I don't feel you, first of all. Second of all, you would be able to do something powerful in this room, so do it. And guess what? Nothing happens. Because usually if you call it out, it's full of shat. But here's Kesha. Is it a demon? Beep. Yes. Okay, thanks. Bye. I'm leaving. Well, if you're that afraid, and really, I mean, a prison system, it's not going to be, in my opinion, the most demonic place where you would find a demon hanging out.
No.
But you're in a prison and you're that afraid, then you shouldn't go anywhere else. You shouldn't be doing this. This is not the job for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wasting time and you're entitled. You just walked out and left your entire crew.
They were so mad.
The producer was pissed.
And you could tell that the producer was really mad.
The producer was
really
pissed.
mad.
I was actually really... I called Kat and asked her to... At first, I wasn't going to have her watch this. But then I was like, I really want you to watch it just because I want you to see how pissed the actual producer was. Because, like, this is how the producers should feel on set. It's like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, how much money did it probably cost to shoot that one episode without Kesha and Whitney's income part of it? Because I bet they got paid a really pretty chunk. It was probably at least $10,000 per episode to shoot. I'm talking, sending gear, flying people, renting cars, hotels. I would know, okay? And that doesn't include whatever they paid Whitney and whatever they paid Kesha. So you have all these people that have done all this work behind the scenes to make this happen, and now you're just going to, because something claims that made a beep noise because you asked if it was a demon. Oh my God.
So bad.
Jesus
so bad.
Lord.
Mm-mm.
Which I saw reviews on this online before I watched it with people saying every episode she claims there's demons. So that's apparently why nobody liked it, is because it was just all demons. Once again, I'm going to go back to this again. People are making fun of Zach and his ability to shoot a docuseries and that he has too much demons. And you're going to talk about him, yet nobody's saying anything else about these other people that are making these, like, raunchy, terrible decisions and, like, poor cinematic, bad teamwork, entitlement, not considering the 12 other people that are on set with you, not knowing paranormal lingo, not understanding paranormal vocabulary, not even knowing how to investigate and seeing things in your mind, and you're making playlists about Zach? Are you serious right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right. So after that, they left the building altogether. They just walked right out of the building. Literally, this is the end of the episode. They did not finish, so that was it. That was it. Are you serious? Do you know what I would give my right leg to have Ghost Girl Diaries signed. I have been trying to get this bitch signed for 10 years. I would give my right leg. And you just got an opportunity of a lifetime and you walked out and left.
Mhm.
On the first episode of season 1.
She was like, no, I'm done. Because the producer even asked, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, the producer's like, well, why don't you take a break and go back in? This is all on film. The producer's like, take a break and go back in. Carrie's like, no, I have boundaries and I don't deal with anything dark and negative, and I have boundaries.
What we do too is your crew, so you need to get it back in there. That's really how that really would have gone, honestly. Absolutely unacceptable.
Kesha says, it's a demon and I will not go back in there and interact with darkness.
What do you think paranormal is, sweetie?
Producer keeps trying to get her to go back in. You know, come on, Kesha, like, take a break, go back in, Kesha. Kesha starts, she turns around, I'm not even kidding you, looks at the building, this prison, starts cussing at the building, which honestly is oppression. She was under oppression, 100%. She's cussing at the building. She's saying, F you, ghost, and F you for making me feel like that, and F you, you're not gonna F with me. I'm dead serious. This went on for a minute. She just had she was oppressed or disrespectful or both. I don't know. If you ever did that, Cat, I would ask you to remove yourself from the premises and you would never be invited back to another shoot with me. Because not only are you disrespecting my crew, but you're disrespecting the location and you're also making an ass out of yourself.
That's why I was mad. Was about, saying F this location. So they just allowed you to film there. And I'm getting clear audience in my left ear.
So really your guides are like, calm down, okay?
No, it was really disrespectful. It was very disrespectful. And if I were a location, I'd probably ban her. Never go back.
Well, no, that's not the problem here. The problem here is when you have an investigator go in like that, even if you're as big as Kesha, and you just disrespected the location and you stood out in front of it, cussing it out, she was flipping off the building, everything else. Not only now is she not going to probably be invited back ever, but that is what causes problems for the rest of us as paranormal investigators. That is like the people in the South in Alabama and Louisiana that go investigate these 1800s, 1700s locations and party in them and end up burning them down. And then the rest of us can't come in and we're not invited. That's what happens at Myrtle's plantation when someone goes in and does voodoo and does a conjuring session, and now nobody's allowed to use Ouija boards anymore. This one thing that Kesha just did just burdened the entire paranormal community. Why aren't people making playlists about that? But we're still talking about Zach and how annoyed we are with him and his success. Okay. I'm confused.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't think people realize that what we just saw on TV is exactly the problem in the paranormal community. What she displayed is what causes the rest of us to suffer.
True.
And that would not fly on my set, let me tell you what.
No.
I don't care if you're oppressed or not, you remove yourself from the situation. You don't stand outside of a haunted location flipping at the bird. Who knows who was inside? Who knows the management that's running it? Right? Mm-hmm. What if the management saw that whole thing unfold, and if they didn't then they saw it when it was aired?
That was bad. It was really bad. Not good. Not professional.
Never stand. You know what? She'll probably get signed again because she's Kesha, so she can do whatever she wants. And yet here I am, suffering in silence, trying to get this series signed. I've been in hundreds of negotiations, been turned down countlessly, can't get it signed. Won awards, have millions of views on YouTube. What else do I have to do? Damn, son. Like, I have kept my life in a square. I don't do drugs. I don't party. You know what I mean? Like, I don't post bad things on the internet. I'm a square, for God's sake. And I still cannot get signed because people find something wrong with me or the series. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Makes no sense to me. Maybe I need to be a psychotic person that sees things in my mind so that I can get the series signed or something. Maybe I'm not doing something right, you know?
Mental pictures.
Mental pictures. I'm getting a mental picture. Yeah, no one would be cussing even a ghost out on set with me. That just wouldn't fly. But the producers were mad. Obviously, it was as it was unfolding. I'm shocked that they kept that in the edit. Actually, like they kind of made her look bad by keeping that in the edit. So that tells me that Kesha was not in charge of post production. She says that so the producer's still trying to get her to go in. Can you go in and get more evidence, and like maybe you should take some more paranormal stuff in, or maybe you should just take a break. And she's like, I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting down. It's done. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she looks at Whitney. Kesha looks at Whitney and she goes, I'm ready to go to the bar. Let's go to the bar and let's drink and let's get drunk and let's go to the bar. Let's relieve my stress and party and and I'm just like,
right, wonderful.
Because that's another rule I have on set is you cannot be intoxicated or under the influence around paranormal because it's not safe. That is when a possession will happen 100% because I've seen it happen.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And now they've just left this haunted location, this haunted jail, and now they're going to a bar to get drunk. And if something's attached to them, now it's going to follow them around. And I don't think that should have been put on TV either. I just think it's really bad, showing the paranormal community wrong examples, and other people are going to follow it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And yes, Cat is Wednesday Addams. I am a werewolf. So I'm sorry, this was just crazy because it just didn't make sense to me. Eli Roth dropped another series that I'm not happy about either. I didn't mind the one he did with Zach, but now he's dropping My Possessed Pet, and I have really big concerns over it. I'm gonna boycott it. I'm not gonna watch it. My concern is that if he has these stories coming up about people bringing home entities that then possess their pets, is there's going to be an excuse that's going to happen across the nation, possibly across the world, that people are going to have a pet that's acting out and they're going to think they either need to put it down or kill it themselves because it's under possession. And that really upsets me because I'm a huge animal advocate. So I just don't think this is good. I'm really upset. I'm really disappointed that this series has been released. I'm not the only one that's speaking out about this in the paranormal community. I've seen John Tenney talk about it online as well as other paranormal investigators. And I just needed to put my 2 cents in. I don't agree with this series at all. I think this is going to give people an example and a bad excuse to unalive their pets. And I think animals are sensitive. I think they're smarter than humans, if you want to know the truth. I think that they can sense when something's in the house. Even Cat's lizard used to be able to sense when things were in the house. But I don't think possession's possible with an animal because I think they're smarter than us. I think they're more in tune with the other side. I think that there's a reason that we see things on wildlife shows like before a tsunami or a hurricane hits, all the animals run inland, right? They know before we're even detecting it on our fancy, sonar, radar, or all of our scientific equipment. And I just think that animals are way, way more in tune with the other side than we are. And I think this is BS. And I hope to God that the series gets canceled. There's been a lot of terrible, terrible reviews on it online. Kesha's also has bad reviews, like two stars. So I hope that particular one does not get renewed because I think it's dangerous. Is dangerous. Don't ever hurt your pet thinking it's a ghost or an entity. That's bull. Go donate it to a shelter or rehome it, please, because that's just crap. I don't want to ever hear that animal possession. I've been in this industry for years and I've never ever once heard of an animal being possessed. I've heard of them being scared and affected, but I've never heard of them being possessed. So that's BS. And I will not stand for animal abuse at all. So we're just gonna end it there.
Yeah.
3 Ring Inferno is coming out, and that's Zach's new one. Now, I looked this up. It's not an actual, investigation, but it's almost like a horror story that's being told, and he's, the narrator of it. So, once again, this is Zach sort of taking on a bigger project than documentary. This tells me he feels like he has mastered his craft of being a documentarian, and he's moving on, and that's great, because he should be pushing himself as a filmmaker. And he should be evolving. So I'm really excited to see this. The first episode of 3 Ring Inferno airs on October 31st. It features a terrifying story of a boy and his father who steal an old suitcase from an antique market and soon discover a weathered tent inside that opens a portal to a cursed circus from the past. And it's a mysterious haunted place that they encounter that's a terrifying entity that stops nothing trying to capture their souls. So it sounds like it's going to be good.
really good.
He's like the host narrator of it. Ghosts of Devil's Porch. This is a new one that's coming out too. I think it's already aired. I haven't watched this though. But one of the first episodes, or the episode, is about Montana, and it's like a historic mining town, so that sounds interesting. But I saw that Dave Schrader is the investigator on it. So once again, he's just this poor old pterodactyl that's being thrown around countless times, and they cannot get him a spot where he needs to be.
Pterodactyl.
That's what the community calls him. Dave Schrader is the old pterodactyl dinosaur that just keeps on rolling in. You know what I mean? He's just still rolling through.
He's flying through.
Jesus, take the wheel.
God, real.
Haunted Scotland. Did you see that one? That one looks like it was going to be a good one. That's September 23rd, so it's probably already on. But I was excited about this because Chris Fleming's on it.
I like Chris.
Yeah, I like Chris too. Chris was on my episode of when I was on travel. So yeah, he's a good guy. He was having a hard time getting some series signed too. So I haven't watched it though, so I hope that he's well. Ghost Adventures Devil's Den, that one came out. It premiered September 29th. I haven't watched that one yet. What did you think about their new series that they did that was Ghost Adventures House Calls, which was like pandemic style because basically Zach was staying at home. Yeah, it was a little
meh.
Yeah, he was still bossing him around from Zoom.
Yeah, as he would.
Yeah, so I was like,
you would.
Might as well have just stayed there, you know, like whatever, but so that'll be.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. I think it was A for effort, but meh.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are just burnt out from Ghost Adventures. That's really what it comes down to. It's not that they don't get evidence. It's not that it's filmed well. It's just cycles change, things change. And it's not bad. It's just people are bored. They need something fresh. And here we are still recycling poor Dave Schrader for the 30th year in a row. You know what I mean? So nothing fresh yet.
300 million years.
And we get Kesha that sees things in her mind, so we're moving forward. You know what I mean? We're getting somewhere. Yeah. We're getting mind pictures.
Mind pictures.
We're getting mind pictures. Shock Doc on Robert the Doll, that came out September 30th. I haven't seen that, but Robert the Doll is the doll that lives in Key West, Florida, who's obviously, you know, made people ill if he offends them or if they offend him in person. Ghost Hunters came out with a new season, which I'm not a Ghost Hunters fan, to be honest, but it's interesting to see Jason, Steve, and Tango back together. Poor Grant. He's also just floating around pterodactyl style out there. We don't know where he's at.
Grant tweeted about Ghost Hunters when they had come back last year.
Grant's cool. Grant's chill. I actually like Grant more.
Chill,
yeah, he's
but
cool.
He said no one reached out to him to be on the show.
He did sign off the rights, so I guess that's what happens. You know what I mean?
He did, but he was also very supportive, so that's nice.
Yeah.
That was nice to hear him talk about that because he didn't have to say that.
No. Next one, Jack Osborne's recycled again as well. I don't know.
I just can't watch it.
It's October 2nd. Discovery Plus is when it was coming out for him. Jack Osborne returns to the UK to revisit his childhood home in Buckinghamshire. I didn't say anything about Katrina though, so I don't know what that means. So I haven't watched it. But you know, Jack, I wish I had your dad's paycheck. That's all I have to say. You know what I mean? Because I would have been on my 8th series too by now. Ghost Brothers Lights Out. What do you think of Ghost Brothers? I don't know. I mean, they're okay. It's just a little cheese ball. It's more cheese balls. You know what I mean? More cheesy balls.
Yeah, it's a lot of cheesy balls. And they had a clip on Travel Channel when they were at a location and they found a circle and they were making a whole evil witchcraft claim on it.
Oh, good.
Bones in the circle.
Here we go
and
again.
I messaged it to Elvie because I was like, what the heck? I'm just so over the misconceptions. You know, why don't you do some more research instead of just assuming?
Because I see things in my mind.
It's the mental pictures, Krystal.
I'm getting a mental picture that there was a witch here.
Picture of some cheese balls.
Oh, God, sorry guys, it's gonna be fine. You know, this is how Kat and I really are in real life. I swear, nothing's changed.
So bad.
You know,
explicit. We're gonna write this one explicit.
If you only knew some of our conversations there. You know what I'm saying?
It's worse.
Oh, I don't know why I feel like bringing this up right now. I'm going to tell a random story. I didn't tell you today on purpose because I wanted to get your live reaction.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So last night, Kat's been working late too, and I've been working late, just like shooting content and everything else. So anyway, Kat, you called me last night. I got off the phone with you. She got home really late. You were like midnight or something.
Midnight.
Your time, yeah. And I got off the phone with Kat, and I was like, you know what, dude? I'm hungry. I work till 9 o'clock at night. I'm gonna go get some Taco Bell. Okay, I'm gonna go get some Taco Bell. And there's a reason I chose Taco Bell, and it's because I'm a vegetarian. I eat vegan sometimes, but I'm vegetarian, and they have potato tacos, man. I like myself some spicy potato tacos, okay? Last night I got no chipotle, and I added some spicy ranch. If you want to know how to get down, that's how you get down, okay? So so I just got done filming Beetlejuice. I looked a little gothed out, okay? But I took all my makeup off, but I still had like black eyes, so I had dark makeup, but I didn't look green. I didn't look like I was rotting in a crypt, okay? But I like threw my hair in a messy bun, and I had freaking paranormal haunted pajamas on. Don't judge me. Don't you dare judge me. You know you've got skeleton pajamas in your closet somewhere, okay? I am a goth girl. I live in my spooky PJs, okay? So I have spooky PJs and like black eye makeup on, okay? So I'm at Taco Bell. And by the way, he got my order wrong. I was really pissed. I asked for 3 spicy potato tacos. He gave me 1. Anyway, let it go.
What?
So I'm getting ready to leave. I paid. I would have, but this is what he caught me with as I was leaving. He told me he would pray for me. And he went on a rant. This guy, he was Hispanic, and he went on like a whole Catholic prayer for me while I was leaving the goddamn I just wanted some goddamn Taco Bell. Honest to God, I just wanted a goddamn potato taco, okay? I didn't come here for a prayer just because I'm goth. I did not come here for a prayer. I came here for a damn potato taco, brother, and a Mountain Dew, okay?
I'm really glad I wasn't with you.
So anyway, he started praying for me, and I literally did this like slow smile at him because I was like, what's happening? I just wanted to go to Taco Bell. That's all I wanted. Like,
give me my potato.
Yeah, and so he screwed up my order, but I was not going to go back because I was not going to get prayed at twice. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. So anyway,
I am just really glad I wasn't with you because that would have ended really bad.
Dude, I was tired. I worked all day. I just wanted a taco, honest to God. Just, you know what I mean?
I probably would have just talked back to him in Spanish and called myself a brujeria.
So anyway, that's Goth Problems 101 when you look goth and go in public. I'm sorry, I got a little off the...
Okay, random side note. I don't know if anyone else are getting these, but I keep getting handwritten notes from Jehovah's Witnesses.
What?
And it's a little sketch.
Like in person?
So like they'll mail them to me with my full name and my address, and they'll have an address back, and they handwrite me letters.
Have you ever Googled the address? Is it like a church?
No. Like it's and I get them, and I wonder if they just like see my social media or something.
Media.
It's local, and I'm this close to sending them back like a satanic Bible. Like, that's like just to do it. Come on.
I can't. You should send them like a voodoo doll back, like freak them out. Like, oh my God.
You send them an Annabelle.
Send them like a Ouija board. Annabelle. Put a Ouija board in the mail. Like, this is for you. With like a note talking about how haunted it was. There's a demon, yes.
Keyboard or a keychain.
Get on Etsy or like eBay and get like a haunted doll and put it in the mail. Like, send it to their address. This is a thank you for the note that you sent me, bitch.
I'm going to unbaptize you.
Oh my God.
Letter.
I'm dead. I can't.
Bless. Look, I don't sit here preaching about witchcraft. All right, you can keep your letters to yourself. I'm all set. Thank you.
Well, at least you didn't get prayed at Taco Bell, man. I just wanted a taco, dude. I just wanted a damn taco.
Also have cheesy balls.
So yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. We're getting off center here, guys. This is welcome to the Cat and Krystal show. No one.
So bad.
It's so bad. I'm just really glad you guys aren't there for some of the private text message and phone call conversations we have because trauma, it's fine.
It's so funny though. We're so random.
Oh man, it's bad.
It's
really bad.
Great.
Just like,
That is horrible.
just knife me. You know what I'm saying? That's what
You know
I'm
what,
to say.
if I was with you, I would have walked back in asking for the other potatoes.
Well, serious talk. I was really upset. I only had one potato. You know what I mean? I wanted 3 potato tacos because if I don't eat them all, my stomach has shrunk since I've lost so much weight, so I can't really eat that much. But potato tacos, you pop them in the fridge, throw them in the freaking microwave for 30 seconds. It's good to go. You know what I'm saying? So I just save them for later. Yeah, you just pack that shit in. Like, you just save it for later. So but I was like, dude, I do not want it. And I looked back because it was like 10 o'clock at night. There was nobody in line, but I was like, dude, I don't want to be around his energy. I don't want to get prayed at again. You know what I'm saying?
When I come to visit again, we should go.
Oh, dude, it was just, he threw me off guard. So he hands me the bag. So if you need to know my order, okay, if we need to get specific here, I got 3 spicy potato tacos, no chipotle, add spicy ranch. That's how you get down, okay? Sometimes extra cheese, but sometimes not. You know, it just depends on the mood. I also ordered some cinnamon twists. So my bag felt heavy because it had the cinnamon twists and 1 taco. So I thought I was good, and then I pulled out and he forgot 2 of my tacos. But dude, I didn't want to go back. And by the way, because I look goth and I have on spooky pajamas and black eyeshadow, why does that mean I don't believe in God all of a sudden and you have to preach at me? Not that it matters what I believe in, you know what I mean? But just because I'm goth does not mean I need you to pray for me, for God's sake. Jesus, I just wanted a taco.
I'm gonna just tuck my soapbox away because
that's why I thought of you, because I was like, if Kat were here and this happened, I think you would have lost your shit. Honest to God,
high kicked into hell.
You should have seen my face, because I had paid. It was done. I was listening to I think I had my metal playlist on. Yeah, I was just chilling.
You pay for those tacos.
And then all of a sudden he's just like, hey, I have one more thing to say. And I was like, okay. Because I'm antisocial anyway. And I was like, I don't really want to talk to you. And I turned and he was like, he bowed his head and he put his hands together. And he's like, and he started praying. And then he did part of it in Spanish. And so I didn't know what he said. And I was just like, and I did this, when I figured out what was happening, I was like, slow turn. And I was like, my eyes got really big. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, I pray for you. I pray for you to find God. And I was like, okay, you too. You have a good night. And I was like, gassed it. So anyway, I don't know.
They're probably saying Mother Mary, full of grace in Spanish, because that's what my abuela would do. She was Jehovah's Witness, actually.
Then I was like, does he know about my trauma? Does he know what I went through? No, I'm just kidding. Is he psychic? Does he know I've been through some shit or something?
He got some mental pictures.
Yeah, got pictures in his mind. All right, I'm sorry, guys. That was a rant. That's fun, though. Sometimes those are the best moments. All right, Shock Doc, that's another one that came out, which is about... this one looked interesting. It comes out the 28th, which, isn't that today or something? Shock Doc Ghost Flight of 401, and it's about, over 100 passengers died or something. And it's the ghosts of Flight 401. Anyway, that looked good, so you guys should check that out on travel. Now
Cindy Kaza again.
Yeah, she's she was on the one with Dave, right, or something?
Yep.
She looks legit. Poor Dave. Nobody knows what's gonna happen with him, man. He's just floating around.
Poor pterodactyl Dave.
Poor old Dave. Urban Legend is the new one, also with Eli Roth, and I'm conflicted because I'm really kind of pissed off that he made the pet one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this one looks good. So he's basically turning Urban Legends into ghost series. So it's interesting because it looks like Zach's got some competition in Eli Roth because he's kind of coming for Travel Channel. Don't you think?
Yeah. I'm curious how that would pan out though if Zach's on the panel now.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Eli's as tall as up in the chain as Zach is now, since he's up in Discovery.
Definitely not.
No.
But it's interesting that Zach would want to work with him. So that probably does mean that it's competition.
Well, that or Zach sees it as a better work with him rather than against him type of attitude. You know what I mean? Which is definitely, it's it's keep your enemies closer than your friends type of thing. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer type of thing. So it's probably good. It's probably good on his part. And then the Haunted Museum 3 Ring Inferno comes out starting October 31st, and it's a collaboration with Eli Roth again. So interesting. So I don't know. That's the tea. That's all I got. Anything else that you want to chat about?
No, I've got opening night tomorrow, y'all.
Good, you do it.
Shows all weekend.
You kill it.
And I'm not sleeping.
I'm not going to sleep for 2 more weeks. It's fine. How's everybody doing with the eclipse, by the way? Yikes, mine's been rough. Whoa.
Oh, it's been really rough.
Yeah, let's talk about Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Jesus. So, as I'm laughing, I'm like, I have trauma.
Trauma.
The eclipse is in Scorpio, and then the next one's going to be in Taurus. So, basically, if you have any predominant, specifically Taurus or Scorpio placements and or fixed placements, which is also Leo and Aquarius, Kat and I are fucked because we both have those. I'm a Taurus sun and Aquarius moon. Kat is a Scorpio rising. So we're both just getting it right now. And then my north node is conjunct my sun in Taurus and my south node is in Scorpio. So yeah, my whole life is continuing to become a tower moment this year. It's fine. Just keep it going. At this point,
video about that. I gotta send you that. It's hilarious.
Honestly, I lost both my parents this year. You know what? Just what else could happen? Let it go. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh my God.
It can't get any worse. It's fine. You know what I mean? I'm fine. I've been through the worst of it. We're good now. You know. My light's flashing is probably my mom being like, "Shut up, don't say that." My mom called my phone the other day. My phone.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, my mom, it scared me because I have my mom's phone since she passed away in January, but I was on the phone with Kat, the call dropped, and then all of a sudden I looked at my iPhone and it said, mom calling. And I like freaked out and I went to answer it and the call disappeared. And then I went to go screenshot the call because it said she called and the call didn't exist. So yeah, she called my phone. My mom's badass though. She's really badass. But yeah, eclipse is rough. So just, this is supposed to actually be the good transformative one. So if you had a shit 2022 like I did, this is supposed to help project you into like the next sort of chapter or timeline of your life, which I can definitely tell is happening for me. Hopefully, my next big thing is moving to the East Coast. That's my next big plan. So I need to go visit though. Kat and I are going to go on a road trip through New York and PA to see the areas, see what I like, and make a final decision on where I'm stopping. Do the thing.
Yeah.
But I still might.
It
is, and I don't know if I'm going to do it in the winter or not. I still may have to keep a house or a second home here in Vegas because this summer I ended up working out of LA a lot by accident, didn't even mean to, and so I might be doing it a part-time thing. But my thought is being out there East Coast part-time at least to film with Kat and to film with Elfie so that we're all together. It would just make a little bit more sense. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the Victorians and the Tudor homes. Do you like Tudor? You know what I'm talking about? The witchy Tudor?
Yeah. I love Tudor homes because they remind me of Germany.
Yes.
When I went to Germany a lot as a kid, it very much reminds me of old.
They look so witchy to me. So
they're very cottage. They're very cottage-core-y, but it's a darker take on it. I love
there's areas in New York and PA that have specific Tudor homes. So I don't know, it's between a Tudor home and a witchy Victorian house is what I'm looking at, and but I need to look at the areas first. So
beautiful.
Just create content out of a witchy house. You know what I'm saying?
Goals. Oh my gosh.
Mood. We'll get there. Next week, Elfie possibly will be having an alien chat, but I did a secret filming shoot in LA at the end of September, and I should be able to announce what that was or is in the next week or so. And if that happens, my girlfriend Ashley will be coming in. So Ashley got to film on this secret shoot with me. And I was like, dude, you have to come on the podcast so we can talk about it. And she also lives near like Ed Gein and John Wayne Gacy stuff. So if I can talk about the film shoot, Ashley will be coming on to chat. She's really cool. She's a fellow goth friend of mine. She's a cyber goth. She identifies as a cyber goth. She's really cool. Really down to earth, really chill. You guys will love her. And we had so much fun on this secret shoot that I can't talk about. It was so fun. I cannot wait. I'm gonna explode when I can finally talk about it. Totally out of my comfort zone. And yeah, that's the tea. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging with us tonight. Sorry, Kat and I are crazy. I know you love it though. You should see the comments. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, I love this. I love you. We've missed you guys." You know what I mean? Because we're crazy. It's true.
I missed it too.
Yeah,
I love our rants.
that's what I'm saying. If Kat and I could get signed to a reality series, not paranormal,
Just Cat and Krystal.
just Kat and Krystal. There would
KC show.
You guys would just love the tea. It would be like a gothic witchy reality show of the crazy trauma that we talk about. Yeah.
So why am I laughing like that?
Trauma.
It's great. So funny.
Oh my god, the camera went blurry again. So creepy.
Gosh.
Well, that's the tea. That's all I got. Make sure you tune in next week. I have no idea what's going on. We love you guys. Nikita said I was telling Krystal the other night that my great aunt owned a haunted Victorian in upstate New York, which is now part of the Historical Society. Yeah, I'm looking at areas. I don't really want to be any further than 2 to 3 hours outside of New York, like Long Island, area. So Albany's a little, like, Kat has been all over, thank God, New England, because she's from New England, so she knows, and so is Elfie, because obviously Elfie's in PA. And I would, of course, love to be closer to Kat, because her and I are, like, twinsies. It's, like, really gross. But I don't want to be that far from New York is the problem. So I'm going to end up being closer to Elfie, which is okay. That's chill. I'm kind of going to be right between both of them. But I think Albany is a little bit too far north for me. Although it's beautiful. It's beautiful up there. So
yeah.
Anyway, make sure you're following us on TikTok, on everything else. This stream will be uploaded to all major platforms, including Apple, Spotify, you name it. You can always find all of our platforms at ghostgirldiaries.com. Did we see Haunted 28 on Netflix? No, we heard about it. That's weird. Elfie just texted us.
We literally, yeah. Elfie literally just texted us that.
Yeah, and we said the same thing. See, I told you we're twinsies. We're twinsies. Isn't it fun? And the trauma is the same too. You know what I'm saying? Why am I laughing? Sick.
It's true.
It's really sick.
Thank goodness for each other because, whoa.
Kat, I'm dead. Stop.
What?
I can't.
What?
Kat likes the lead singer of Ice Nine Kills Spencer. She thinks he's hot. It's just a random little notation in there.
Women with his knife.
It might be the knife issue. It might be trauma. It might be masks. It might be all of the above.
It's fine.
It's fine. That's part of the reality series that we're going to create together.
Y'all have no idea.
Yeah, goth girl problems. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you find us on Spotify. This will be uploaded tomorrow as a stream. I know I need to get the other 15-minute up. That'll be up this weekend. And we love you guys. Make sure you follow us. Take care. Thanks again. Good night, guys.
Back from the dead.